Okay, that's the easy ways done. The next face that we're going to put our dots on is this face right at the back here. And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to put 5 dots on the next face, and on a dice the opposite sides always add up to 7. So if you get 2 dots on this face, we need 5 dots round the back. If we've got 1 dot on this face, we need 6 dots on the face at the bottom. So the first thing we've got to do is rotate this block around. Now if we go over to the right hand side of the screen, you'll see these tools. If we click on the free rotate or free orbit tool, we can use this to rotate the cube around. So all we do is begin to move the cube around until we can see where the back face is. Click create our 2D sketch and click on the back face. Now on here we're going to have to draw 5 dots, and this time because it's a bit more complicated drawing 5 dots, if we've got a complicated drawing and we're doing it on paper, we use construction lines, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to add some construction lines to this surface so that we can position our circles very accurately. Now the great thing about construction lines is that when you draw them you can see them, but when you print out or when you finish the drawing they remain invisible. So you select the line tool and then you go over here and you click on construction to make sure the lines are construction lines. First 2 lines we're going to draw are lines horizontally and vertically in the centre. So if we find the centre mark with our green dot, click and draw down, make sure it looks at 90 degrees down to the line and click. Same over here, get the centre line, draw, make sure we're at 0 degrees and click. Right, that was fairly straightforward, and we've now got 1 construction line here and 1 here locating the centre exactly. Now we go to the left hand edge, we don't know where yet, just make sure we're on the edge, click and draw to the right, make sure you're at 0 degrees, and when you get to the edge click again. We've got a horizontal line. We're going to do another horizontal line here, start on the edge, draw across, make sure you're at 0 degrees and click. Now 2 vertical lines. Start at the top line, make sure you're at 90 degrees, get to the bottom line and click. And the same here. Make sure you're at 0 degrees and click. Now the dimension tool, if we click on one of the construction lines and then click on an edge, we can draw out and change that to 4. We're going to move all of these dimension lines 4 millimeters from the edges. Now we've got our dimension lines crossing, our construction lines crossing here. We know where the centre is, here, here, here and here. So if we select our circle tool, now this time when we move in we can see we've locked onto the centre, we get a little yellow cross. When we click, begin to drag out, as you drag out you'll see the size of the circle, and if we type 3 and press enter, we get a 3 millimeter diameter circle drawn in automatically. Now look what I've done here. I've drawn that circle and I've left my construction lines on. Now that's a mistake. Now what I want to do now is go back to undo. I'm going to click on my construction line to deselect it, then click on the circle tool. Now locate the centre, draw out, type 3, press enter, and I've got my circle with a full line and it's already dimensioned to 3mm, so I don't have to dimension it. I'll do the same right in the centre, click, draw out, type 3, hit enter. Type 3, hit enter, type 3, hit enter. And that's us got our 5 dots drawn and located accurately and all at 3mm. So we can now finish that sketch. Use the orbit tool so that you can see that face a bit better. Then click on extrude, make sure we select cut, make sure it's 1.5 deep, and select each of the 5 dots. When we've got them, we say OK, and that's us got our 5 dots on the back side of the dice. Now, to put the dice back to its original position, if we go over to this little block here which shows you the orientation of the dice, you'll see a little house there. That's the home button. Click on there and the dice goes back to where you left it. Now save your work.